All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Tuesday morning, day two, coming to you from Oxford, Mississippi. Um, and a lot going on. Just knocked out a Fox News hit. I guess my new call sign's Buzz. Bill Hemmer called me Buzz twice. Well, Buzz once, and then he Wiz. Um, Just an absolute horror yesterday out at Edwards Air Force Base, B-52H. Oh man, I'm 57. These bombers are older than me, and I'm old. Uh, but there's four test B-52s. You might have seen them. They can carry like other, man, they can carry rockets, experimental lift vehicles, satellites, and zap them up into space even higher. This one apparently was just doing a radar RMP, radar something mapping something test. Usually B-52s are crews of 4 to 6, depending on what they're doing. And this one had 8 because it had 2 civilian contractors on board from Boeing. Um, and like I think the ejection seats are like 4 up, 2 down, and I don't even know if the extra seats have ejection seats. I know they have parachutes, man, but obviously, can you guys hear me? I'm seeing no sound. Okay, that's on Mitch. So I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's got 8 motors. It can fly with half of them out. Don't know if it was I mean, clearly it probably was a motor issue, but flight control, hydraulic loss, I don't even know. But eight of our fellow Americans woke up. They put their flight suit on, their boots on, they kissed their wife or husband or kids goodbye, and went to go do a good flight test. And they have transitioned. So at this point, those souls are praying for us. That's what I believe in. So we got to pray for their families. So you know, we've lost 13 souls in epic fury so far. 8, in a test flight. And you guys know my story. In 15 years of flying fighters, I lost 15 buddies. Uh, 15 years, 16 buddies. So very sad day. So, okay, let's go ahead and get air. Man, look at my 3 month performance. What's the past 3 months been? It's been an absolute train wreck. I mean, uh, up what's 57%. So since look at this, the April, kind of shit show. It's just like I love the years when there's shit shows and I destroy everybody. It's just an absolute blast. What's 6 month? 45% year. I mean, what's 12 month? 57. I mean, look at the other indices. So if you're a TGO, you should be absolutely crushing it, man. So I'm quite pleased with our the model portfolio performance. We're going to talk about SpaceX. Tactical Trade Alert members, you guys love life, don't you? I sat here and cranked this out this morning. Um, where's the Tactical Trade Alerts? So I'm actually booting CCJ from the report, and I just added SpaceX. And I'll step through, even if you're not a member, I'm going to step through this because I want to talk about SpaceX options today. It's sucking all the oxygen out of the room. SpaceX exceeds Amazon's market cap. Talk to me about profits and earnings. And I get it. But man, you know the wisdom. What's the wisdom? Math matters eventually. That's the wisdom. Eventually, math matters. So you can buy some SpaceX right now, but we're going to be talking about options. I mean, and I talk about why I'm booting CCJ. It's right there. Well, we'll talk about it in a second when we get tactical, but tactical trade alert members you can go download this report right now in the member thread, or it's posted on the member page, obviously, and I post all the reasons in there as well. But we'll dig into this in a second. If you're not in tactical trade alerts, man, I don't know what you're waiting for. Because I'd be doing this stuff anyway. If I didn't have TGO, I'd be sitting here in Oxford because Keely and Susie are doing a bunch of mom-daughter onboarding stuff this morning. But I'd be doing this for me. So these reports are way underpriced, and we're probably going to be, like I said, raising the price of those. So, all right. So let's do our normal brief. These type of headlines, man, the race to land an Iran deal loomed large behind Trump's UFC birthday, right? In one weekend, Trump veered from threatening the ultimate alternative against Iran. You don't even want to know what that was, to celebrating what he called a great deal to end the war. And I just saw the president, in another one of his rambling whatevers. I think it's, we'll sign it Friday, and I'm going to have a press conference because I want to read every word so you in the press don't lie about it. I'm seeing this whole Strait of Hormuz is open for 60 days toll free. I'm like, what does that mean? Hopefully, it means it's toll free for the U.S. and Iran, and Europe and all of cheese-eating surrender monkeys have to pay. Man, I mean, this goes into the soap opera stuff around it, but then I start seeing stuff like this. According to Axios, CIA Director Radcliffe warned President Trump and other senior officials that U.S. intel has uncovered evidence, I'm shocked, casting a significant doubt on Iran's willingness to accept the nuke concessions for the final agreement. Marco Polo Hegseth reportedly shared those concerns, raising questions about the proposed MOU. Vance, Witkoff, Kushner argued in favor of moving forward with the deal. So, if you believe Axios, they're kind of tight. So first of all, I believe all of that. Even if it's not true, I believe it. Right? That the CIA director has intel on all this stuff. Why? Because the Mossad probably has a bug in the Ayatollah Jr.'s mind if he's still alive, or the top generals. I guarantee you the Mossad knows where these dudes are and is waiting maybe even to take them out. But folks, you don't have to be a genius to know that they're not going to agree to the nuke stuff, period. They see North Korea like, man, ain't nobody doing anything to that guy, so we have to get these. It is a matter of our survival. So this, I want to live in the present, but I have to project my thoughts forward in space and time. This is an absolute disgrace. At the beginning, they went out of their way to, what did they say at the beginning of this? No, this isn't regime change. But if it happened, it would be super great. I mean, if that's just a side effect, of course, that's what they wanted. Kind of like Putin. Kiev's going to fall in 48 hours. I mean, they're going to be throwing flowers at us as we roll our tanks into Kiev. 4 years later, I guarantee you after Maduro and absolute resolve that Trump's like, oh my God, Venezuela's massive. And, Iran, the mullah's going to fall. We'll kill him. The rest will follow. I'm not digging any of this. The market only cares when it cares. So it ain't caring right now, Wiz, precisely. But I care as a human that this is looking like a complete and utter failure. Okay, move out of the way. Control panel. There we go. This is the headline you care about. I posted this yesterday in the Lifetime group or wherever. Stocks have even more room to fly if Hormuz opens. Can you believe the Wall Street Journal this morning or what was that? Last night at 6:02 said if U.S. indexes, capping the best 3-session stretch in more than a year. I love CNBC too, like The Judge. Last week it was stocks suffer worst implosion since 2023. This week, stocks, the fear and greed, man. I love it. That's why we just kind of do the work in the background. But we printed money a trudge up here, a bearish double vertical over there, and then we're ripping. We got bullish on American trades we put on well, it was Wednesday night. I did a free solo AI brief. I said, hey, man, even though we're talking about AI names, I'm going to be throwing a couple bullish on American trades because you have to buy this dip with both hands. Here we are 3 days, 3.5 days later, and we're ripping, and we will continue to rip. The market is forward looking. What do we care about? SpaceX. What do we care about? When I head over to campus, I'm going to have my phone in the student union and watch Warsh's first press conference. So, folks, this is, the latest Middle East developments added to the ledger of optimistic news and capped the market's best 3-week stretch since the de-escalation of the last Trump-induced pullback to tariff war. So, this is good news, even though things might not seem good. And this is the time that Uncle Wiz pulls out what Wizism. The market is not the economy. The economy is not the market. I love being on X. All the bears for the past couple weeks are getting destroyed. Shades of the .com boom. I'm like, okay. And we're going to implode. I want you to sell everything you own. Mortgage the wife and kids, sell your house, and short this market. Tell me how that works out for you. All these bears running around, man. If you have the courage of your convictions, put some money behind it. And every one of those posts, I'm like, I'll take the other side of that trade. And I've been right. I'll tell you the dip that ain't going to be bought, folks. But until further notice, Wiz says buy every dip. I'll tell you the dip that ain't going to be bought because I won't. I'm going to pound it into the dirt when that happens, right? So, SpaceX overtakes Amazon in market value, right? And Microsoft. Fourth largest public company by market value. How much does it make? So we're going to talk about the options here in a second. We have to because that's what everybody cares about. But it doesn't make money. I mean, it makes some money, but remember years ago, if you were at Top Gun Options years ago, man, we started 16 years ago? Remember it was Trade Monster at the time. The Trade Monster didn't have enough decimal points for the Amazon PE. Do you remember that? I think it was like 4. It was like 3,000 or something. Whatever it was obscene. I think it was in the thousands, folks. And what did people say at the time? That's, and of course, if you shorted Amazon, you're broke. But I remember those days of PEs where the decimal points on the brokerage platforms didn't have enough room. Do you remember that? That was funny. Let's go look. What's their PE, folks, for SpaceX? 0.00. Mr. Blutarski's GPA at Animal House. Delta Tau Delta. There's a DTD. Wasn't a DTD in Animal House? There's a DTD here at Ole Miss. Oh my God, up another 12%, folks. So I can't wait to get in here. And we're going to talk about historically what happens after IPOs and why this might be different. But obviously, this is sucking all the oxygen out of the room here. But why is it also popping? Did you see what they did this morning? SpaceX agrees to buy AI coding agent Cursor for $60 billion. Ipso fatso, right? One of the reasons I'm booting CCJ out of our AI, portfolio. $60 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, SpaceX agrees to buy something for $60 billion. Well, it's using all the funds from its profits to buy that company, Wiz. Doesn't make any. Oh, the IPO. Okay. Deal comes days after its historic IPO. So this is an AI, Cursor was started by 4 booger eaters in 2023 as an encrypted messaging startup, but it has expanded into AI coding tools. Cursor competes with Claude and OpenAI's Codex. Whoa. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love this, right? We can be bipolar and so can I. With SpaceX, I am a 1,000,000,000% short-term bearish. With SpaceX, I am a trillion% long-term bullish. I would buy it with both hands. Not today, or you can. Okay. So, um, there you go, JG. I wouldn't, you can gamble. Go take some drinking money and buy some drinking money calls and stuff like that. I think it's going to rip, and then we'll talk about what it does. So, well, there you go. Mitch is telling us that, well, Mitch, maybe that's why they're buying it, right? Is it a fixer upper? If I trust anybody to be a fixer upper, it would be Elon Musk and SpaceX. So if it's stuck in lag, that's a good point, Mitch. I know nothing about it except for what I've been reading this morning over my 2 cups of coffee. Kevin Warsh wants the Fed to stop explaining everything. I know I sound like a broken record, but I mean it this time, like I did every time. This is a Fed press conference you want to watch. Just about all the Jerome ones were because he talked too much. He would jawbone the market. AI said on page 12, he changed the word the to at, which is bearish. Okay, it was too much. There is a happy medium between, remember, here's how old I am. Mitch is. Remember the Fed chiefs when they went in to testify? It was the briefcase or the folder indicator, right? When Alan Greenspan went to testify, if he had a lot of papers under his arm, we're screwed. If he had a little folder, it was bullish. Remember? That's how old we are. So there you go. Do it. I'm not doing it, but you guys can. Younger Wiz might have. So this will be a big one today. Even though I said that about a lot of Fed meetings, and most of the time I was right, this one will be a big one. What's his style? Is he doesn't want to be a talker, but he is a talker. I've seen him for years on CNBC, and his acceptance speech or whatever, his swearing in speech was pretty cool. He kept it short to the point. So this is going to be, let's just read it. For decades, the central bank believed talking openly made its policy work better. Its new chairman believes the opposite, and his first meeting Wednesday is where he starts to prove it. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Oh, yeah, it's tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. Thank you for that. It's tomorrow. So that's not today. I already talked about this yesterday in Solo AI, but these headlines, man, these are canaries in the coal mine. Even if you're not in the AI solo stuff, man, you got to know these type of things. The AI price war is here, putting pressure on OpenAI and Anthropic. That's not a good headline. Is this going to be the airlines? A race to the bottom? Hey, JetBlue just cut their tickets from Fort Lauderdale to New York at this price. Oh boy, let's go match it. We already saw a couple weeks ago, I briefed you on Uber. They burnt through $500 million of tokens or AI stuff, and it's not even halfway through the year. The CFO's like, done. Microsoft, done. The only AI tools you're allowed to use are ours going forward. We are already, shot a lot of our startups, giants alike, are mixing and matching AI models to avoid the premium prices charged by industry leaders. I got Chat, I got Claude, I got a bunch of them, man, and I don't like because I'm starting to get a lot more bills from my Claude. It does a ton of heavy lifting and math and charting and stuff, which why is divorce expensive? It's worth it, but folks, it'll be interesting to see what happens with price. Because you guys know that Uncle Wiz believes that AI is going to take most of our jobs and kill all of us eventually. So who's going to be paying all these AI fees when you just got laid off from Meta and your $500,000 a year job and your 401k that you're going to burn through in 6 months? I don't get it. Right? Who's the housekeepers that are going because the robots can fold sheets faster and disinfect the room better than anybody? We're in a bad times are coming, I guarantee you. This stuff's for AR tomorrow. Tripping into old age. Can psychedelics protect the aging brain? Let me give you these so you read these if you're not looking in the messaging threads. I post all this stuff. Okay, for the love of God and all things holy. Read these things before you come to AR. I have a Definium bear call spread that's looking pretty good. I didn't end up legging into the Iron Condor because it was hovering up near 25, but we're looking good in the bear call spread. This is a headline that if you are a big pharma company, you absolutely hate. Magic mushrooms might be the new antidepressants. Susie said we're actually close to full. July retreat, July 10 through 10 through 12. If you want to come join Sacred Warrior Fellowship down here and down there, and for July retreat, let Susie know. Susie at nofallenheroes.com. All right, let's get tactical. Let's step through this. So, folks, you can go read this. I'm not going to dig too much into why I'm booting CCJ because that's for the TTA members. But folks, this is obscene. So let's talk about SpaceX because everybody's like, it's rockets. It's not. It is, but it's not. Starlink. My God, man, I love flying United now. Starlink. You don't know United Wi-Fi. It makes money, a lot of money, folks. It's the only profitable segment of SpaceX. Do you understand that? Everything else is downhill for now. XAI, Grok, acquired by SpaceX in 2026, competes with OpenAI, all that stuff. Revenue is, it's growing rapidly, but it's pocket change, it's couch change. Cursor, just talked about it. Cloud, 26 billion a year in cloud contracts with Anthropic and Google, both with what? 90-day termination clauses. Why? Because all these vaporware agreements with each other, the circular, the self-licking ice cream cone, they all are going to shut them off eventually. How's the market react to that? All this vaporware back and forth stuff, right? Now, obviously, the rockets. There's your headline, right? If Elon Musk colonizes Mars, he becomes a quintillionaire. It's never going to happen. Falcon 9 reusability, Starship, blah blah blah. So there's the business segment. Okay. Now let's talk about this because I didn't do it. All my chats do the math and the research. Here's the IPO hype pattern. Now, before I even started this, don't give me whiz back at whiz, meaning don't say you can't trade off the left side of the chart. I agree. And as we get into this Gucci report, why SpaceX can be different. But history might not repeat itself. It certainly rhymes. The 10 most hyped IPOs of the past decade and what happened from the pop to a year later. This is going to drive what I do with the options. Does anybody see any green? Look at the right column where it says decline. Anybody see any green? No, you don't. Snap, Lyft, Uber, Peloton. If you didn't, you could have been a trillionaire. You'd be Elon Musk today if you listened to me. Peloton at 150 in the COVID stuff. I'm like, those things will turn into expensive clothes drying devices. Who wants to work out in their living room and sweat and stink? Peloton went from 150 to like $1. You're welcome. Airbnb, DoorDash, Snowflake, Coinbase, Rivian, Robinhood. The pattern, ladies and gentlemen, might not repeat itself. It might rhyme. The pattern is nearly identical. Massive pre-hype, months. This time, retail people did get into this, right? That's okay. Day one of pop, 20 to 113%. Early buyers feel like geniuses. Volume is extreme. Options flow is bullish. Some of you have some bullish trades on right now. Good. Lockup, expiry at 180 days. Insiders and early employees can finally sell. Supply floods the market. This is the single most reliable sell signal in the history of IPOs. First earnings, 60 to 90 days. Reality meets expectations. The numbers are never as clean as the roadshow. 12 to 24 month trough. Average decline is 73%, close to the median. Not one company in my data set avoided a 50% plus drawdown within 2 years. Recovering explosion. You are right 100% on this because I fed all this stuff into my report. Uber from 22 to 80. Airbnb 103 to 200 plus. DoorDash 68 to 250. Snowflake, blah, blah, blah. The survivors that had real businesses recovered and surpassed their IPO highs, but not sit up straight. Not for 2 to 3 years. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you throw in, I don't know if it made it in here because I always do my political stuff. Breaking news. Not only did the Democrats take the House, they took the Senate. Senate leader, I'm going to vomit. Senate leader Chuck Schumer announced impeachment proceeding against Trump and Hegseth and calling Kristi Noem back. And oh my God. Breaking news. House, this is going to make me throw up too. House Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, has announced an investigation into Doge and Elon Musk personally. He has been subpoenaed, and all the SpaceX contracts will be ripped to shreds to see. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that is a possibility? It is guaranteed. Hakeem Jeffries will call Elon Musk in front of a House committee. He'll make him look like an idiot, like the guy who thought Guam, the island of Guam, would sink. But ladies and gentlemen, what will happen to SpaceX if it gets attacked? So, but that was a threat. I think that's lower. If it didn't get in here, there's a threat. Why is it different? Well, Starlink has 15 to 16 billion in revenue, and for a little over 4 in operating. This isn't a money-losing app, crazy shit. Some trust our business model like Uber. So it can be different. I get it. The 26 billion in annual cloud contracts with Anthropic and Google is franchise revenue, but I just told you, folks, 90-day outs. What if Anthropic and Google wake up like, screw SpaceX? There goes your money. What's different? The float is tiny. Only about 4.9% of shares are in the public float, right? So this creates mechanical scarcity, Bitcoin, driving the price. When the NASDAQ 100 forces an accelerated inclusion, triggering mandatory ETF buying, demand increases further. Small float, index inclusion, rocket fuel, pun intended. Okay? So, valuation is indefensible today, right? I'm not going to read all this stuff. You got tactical traders can read this. I want to get tactical here so we can talk about trading. Options are airborne. Immediate tactical opportunities. Don't forget, folks, the market is closed on Friday for Juneteenth. So Thursday is quadruple witching. The simultaneous expiry of stock index futures, stock index options, equity options, and single stock futures. That's what quad witching means, if you've ever heard that term and you didn't know what it meant. We could get violent moves in options, so be very careful. Okay? The put case, the timing of the lockup trade. Okay? Out of the money puts targeting the lockup window, Dec 26 to Jan 27. When in doubt, you go further out. It rhymes. The pattern across all 10 I just told you about. Consider buying puts at 140 to 160, about 25 to 33% below the IPO price. This brackets the zone where Starlit's intrinsic business value, right, provides a fundamental floor. Math involved here, folks. We'll look at Jan 27, gives you a buffer. I already just said that. Sizing, you can do whatever you want. Here's the risk to being bearish. The float, I just read it, is small, right? So do not short the stock outright. You guys know that. The call case. You are right that survivors recover and explode. If SpaceX follows this, the 2027 to 28 entry at 100 to 140 could be the most asymmetric long setups of the decade. Starlink alone could support a 1.5 trillion. That's their one little business unit, kind of like Amazon's little business units, right? We got a solo SpaceX, right? What I am not doing, I'm not going to say I am not chasing it at 211 or whatever it's at right now. I'm not doing any of this stuff, guys. You can do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay. The opportunities in SpaceX will be better 3, 6, 12 months they are today, right? And then I just talk about CCJ. One more time. The risks before we start getting tactical at all. 114 times revenue with 5 billion in net losses. Every dollar of upside from here requires the market to what? To sustain the unsustainable, the indefensible. Lockup, options, first day of options trading, quad witching, extreme vol. The 60 billion ACK is all stock and closes Q3. 300 people AI startup with a 22,000 aerospace company, right? Execution risk. Government contract dependency. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not shitting you. Sit up straight when I talk to you. Breaking news. Speaker of the House and Majority Leader Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries announced the suspension of all contracts with Elon Musk, the evil trillionaire in his volcano lair. You tell me what's going to happen to SpaceX options. I almost said when. I might say when, not if. When? Because I'm fairly certain they're going to take the House back, even with all the redistricting shenanigans going on. Ladies and gentlemen, man. So, couple things. I mean, this is just obscene. What was the highest? 225. I'm going to give some back here. So let's go out. I haven't done this in a while. Maybe a put 2x1. What does that mean? You buy 2 puts and you sell a lower strike put, right? We did this with NVIDIA. I have one of those out a long ways. Scripts 115, 1215. Hold on one second. Work. Megan Kelly podcast. Hold on. Okay. So, what did I say? 160. Hold on. Let's go look. I looked at this pre-market, but the stock's already coming back down. 140 to 160. All right, let's do that. Let's do something like, let's go look at 160 puts out the Jan. I already briefed you on all the stuff. Go look at it's a 2x1. So maybe you do something like this. You buy 2, but you sell like a 140. Let's go look. I looked at this pre-market. Obviously, the math has obviously changed. Something like that. So let me lead with this. You can just go buy some puts, right? Buy disaster puts, keep them in your filing cabinet and whatever. I don't do that. I like, if I'm going to buy some puts, I'm going to have somebody else sell them to me. So instead of doing just a normal bear put spread where I buy a higher strike put and I sell a lower strike, this is called a 2x1. Okay. So you risk, 3,900 bucks to potentially make 14 grand. Okay, out the Jan of 2027. This would be called a put 2x1. And obviously you can, let's go 150. I like round numbers. How about a 150? This risks 3,300 to potentially make 14 grand. Okay. You could obviously play with the number of contracts. If you did a 4x2, that's 6,600 bucks, and you potentially make 27 grand. Okay. Now, the premiums in these things are obscene right now. Do you get it? And if or when it starts coming back to earth, these are going to rip even more. You don't have to stay in this trade. Let's say SpaceX, you know what, Wiz? It's already down at, what was the IPO price? 135? If it hits 130, well, shit, folks, if it was 135, you're printing money. So again, You're buying, let me go back to the original here. You buy two, and we could even, I don't want to do this. Usually I do put 2x1s like close to at the money. Let's just do this real quick. Buy and then sell like a 175. Let's do 200. Buy two at the 200, sell the 180s. No, 175, I said. 6,400 to make 16 grand. Nah, I'm going to stick with those original ones. 160, or no, it's 180 to 160. Or did I do 150? What am I doing here? I like round numbers. Man, this pricing is whipping around here. That's risking 5 to make 16. First step, do nothing, right? Oh, 150, 130 it was? Let's try that. We'll get back to that. 150, 130. Well, let's do 150, 130. It popped up. 37. That's a nice looking trade, man. I'm telling you, folks, one more time. I get the hype and everything like that, but I don't know how the Republicans pull out the midterm here. I guarantee you, Trump reads the whole MOU on Friday, and Monday, Iran tells them to F off, and they're building a nuke. So not only is the Epic Fury thing going to blow up in our face and it's going to be a failure, they're going to get hammered in the midterms. Elon Musk, I guarantee you, Elon Musk is going to be called to testify. They've already threatened that. The Graham Plattner dude. All these Democrats, man, with these tweets, like, how dare Elon Musk? Graham Plattner's latest tweet about Elon Musk sounds like he wants to beat him like one of his girlfriends. We will, Elon Musk, we're going to impeach Trump, and we're coming after Elon Musk. So when I look at this trade, I actually think this is, and look at the options stuff moving around in the background. When I look at a trade like this, I think this is pretty damn realistic, if not lower. I see a rocket, pun intended, out of SpaceX, and come October, November, when the House changes hands, Elon Musk will be attacked. He will be one of the most vilified people in this country. I did 120 on purpose. I said, let's stick with 120, even though I had 130 initially. I want to give this more room to run is what I'm getting at. Hell, let's look at 100, a round number. Risking 43 to make, it's got to be 50. Yeah. Do the 120. That was cheaper. And what was the gain? About a grand more. I like this one. Forget the initial one that I said. I'm going to take screenshots of this. Now, as I'm taking screenshots, let me red team my red team. Wiz, you're wrong. It happens rarely. This ain't going to look back. It's SpaceX and AI and Elon, and go do a synthetic stock. Anybody want to? Let's get a survey. Does anybody want to do a synthetic stock on SpaceX today? Is there anybody in this room? I'm not going to make fun of you. This is what makes a market. Is there anybody who thinks I'm completely wrong? Wiz, out of those 10 names, that ain't Elon and SpaceX, and I don't think the Democrats are going to win, and it's going to rip. They lose and we rip even higher. Because I can go cover one of those, man. There is no way on God's green earth I would do that trade. I can cover it. Let's see. Anybody? No, too early. Yeah, exactly. Let's wait. All right. See? I love it. You guys are smart. But don't get me wrong. Well, Bruce, and Bruce brings up a great point. I'm cheap. Bruce, you know me. I do want other people to start financing that. This is a rocket, Bruce. You know what Wiz is about to say here. When something's on a tear, either join it or get out of the way. This is currently a tear. Let's see if I want to can see a confirmed turn before I step in front of this thing, man. Don't forget a lot of unwashed masses, retail buyers who are currently not getting that tactical trade alert, who don't know the last 10 most hyped IPOs got destroyed. Average, median, mean was 70, what was it, 4%. So Bruce brings up a great point. Bruce, here's my answer. Not today. Yes, I will. I will step in front of that eventually, but discretion is the better part of valor, right? So, oh, there you go, Tony. So let me at least blast this out to if you want to start working this. Step 0, folks, do nothing. Don't do anything. New SpaceX Jan 27 bearish 2x1. With the froth, I already posted last week why I'm avoiding this IPO. With any froth, folks, I tend to just, unless you're doing a JG drinking money call, Wiz, these are like S&P 500 sniper shots. I'm just gonna roll the bones here. That's on you, man. If I had my multiple screens back at home, I might engage in that. I'm in a Marriott in Oxford, Tennessee. So I need situational awareness. I don't even know what it's doing. And I feel naked without having my S&P 500 dedicated screen up right now, you know? So, um, but with quad witching, let's just go look. SpaceX, the June expiration. Holy shit. Look at these options. Look at this. Let me I might step in front of it, Bruce. When something's on a tear, either join or get out of the way, Wiz. You heard that. But there is a lot of volume. Let's go all. We could, 20 strikes. Man, there's people up here at 250. Look at the premium in these. I am going to do a drinking money trade. I mean, wait a minute. The 245, 250 is only 1 to 0.12. All right, let's walk it down. I don't like this shit though, folks. These are $5 wide strikes. That's why, too. Excuse me. The closest I'm getting to the Wiz safety is that'll be it. 1 to 0.28. Okay. The selling the 230, buying the 235 at $1.10 is right on the edge of the Wiz 1 to 0.25. Right? It's Tuesday morning. Before I even look at a potential bearish call spread, what did I brief you on yesterday in Solo AI? And I got the day wrong. It's tomorrow. Kevin Warsh gets up tomorrow afternoon, folks, and gives the most dovest speech you've ever heard. We're going to rip. I don't know if SpaceX will partake in that. It's its own stock market right now. But I talked about not selling too many upside calls this week because this is his prime time appearance, man. Your first conference, Mr. Chairman. Do you think he's going to be a hawk? Inflation's sticky. The jobs market's on fire. Inflation was sticky for in front of the election, and the jobs market was on fire. And Jerome Powell cut 50 basis points, trying to interfere in the election. But we're not political. So, ladies and gentlemen, does Kevin Warsh get up tomorrow and say, "Man, inflation we're doing okay with. It's stabilized. In the jobs market, we had a fake pop because of World Cup jobs. I'm a dove. We're going to rip the SpaceX rip." So, folks, be very, very careful. Dude, throw in some drinking money, man, So, it's exactly right, Martin. Everybody is a tick. You're the trader in command. I mean, implosion up to a strike. Now it's rolling over. I'll throw a couple calls in here, man. Why not? Risking $400 to make $100. Let's do a couple contracts. Just literally drinking money. Whoa, $1,200? No. You might have to go down as it's rolling over. See, now we're all right. Now it's doing a little momentum. This is like the S&P 500. So something like that, that selling the 225, 230, risking, $1,100 to make 345. Be very careful with this. I'll take a screenshot of one. Let me this is whipping around, baby. And remember, once it rolls, it's going to roll, right? All the people initially and looking on some nice profits right now are gonna pound. There we go. That math is making more sense. All right. I'm going to do it just to do it. $385 is a decent bottle of wine, so why not? Okay. I'll do that. I mean, folks, no, no, no. Look at the volume in the top right, folks. You're looking at 150. Is that right? I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Options. Okay, yeah. I'll do this. I'll do a drinking money call here. The 225, 230. I'll do $1.20, man. I was quick. All right. I'm not doing, that's literally a bottle of wine. New SpaceX June 26 bear call. That what's funny? 600,000 options contracts was what Bernie Madoff was claiming like he would do in a day. And the CBOE didn't even trade that many contracts in that day, let alone one firm. What a bunch of idiots in our government. The guy who like gave Madoff on a silver platter, I forget his name. He did all the math. He's like, it's a Ponzi scheme. He told the government 5 times that Madoff was engaging in a Ponzi scheme. No, he was the chairman of the NASDAQ, Wiz. He's above reproach. Those are the dudes you need to look at the most. All right, let me drop some strike lines in here, man. Now that I'm a SpaceX trader. Trader. Now I'm not investing in SpaceX yet. I will. It's $5 wide strikes, right? Well, 200. So we're going to remember the day, folks. Remember this day like years into the future. Do you remember the SpaceX IPO and it hit 200, then it went down to like it broke 100 and now it's at 1,000? Yeah, I remember those days. God willing, we are going to live some long and fruitful lives. But man, this is insanity. Let me say again, more for me than you. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't. This is even with drinking money, man. This is some crazy shit going on. You could do, you guys are all trained or should be trained. Go do a bearish double vertical out to next Friday. I mean, you could, if you think it's going to pull back. I just don't think Kevin Warsh is going to make a primetime appearance tomorrow and say stuff that's going to scare the market. If anything, he's going to want to impress Trump and it's going to be a crack pipe. You know? Excuse me. I don't have any. We'll talk psychedelics tomorrow. Wow, bullish on American trades are ripping. Definium. I have a Definium bear call spread on out to Friday. It's looking pretty good. Ups. NNE. There's my SpaceX. A tie. I got some NVIDIA now in the model portfolio added yesterday. I'm going to roll those calls down. Now I'm an NVIDIA guy now. In my personal account, I mean. We have them in the model portfolio, 215. They're up 55%. NVIDIA's rolling off a little. I'm going to adjust. Roll down. Those are dollar strikes too. I got to get used to that. I'm going to go down to like 211. They have 210s. I'm not doing those. 212s. Oh, I don't have the model portfolio open. In the model portfolio slash, yes. Let's go look at CBOE. Good question. Excuse me. Jesus. Uh, yeah, this is 8465. I have CBO in a couple accounts. I don't in all of my accounts. Yes. CBOE for my Zoom AI who doesn't know what CBOE is saying. So, folks, this is your normal. If we don't hold here, it'll be lookout below. But, folks, this is your standard. I already briefed you on what's going on with this. Is the futures thing. Let's go look at CME. Is it in sympathy? Yeah. This is CME is way more at risk than CBOE. So I'd hang, nothing we can do. Nothing changes this long. And folks, and slash, somebody just posted that 600, and I guarantee it's probably 700,000 at this point. 600,000 SpaceX options have been traded. That is, I can't remember. I'll go ask my trade desk I should have put that in the damn report. I'm going to update that report with this question. Out of all of those IPOs, and I got to be honest with you, man, most of those IPOs didn't have options trading like, when is this, day three? 3 days after the IPO. This is, I think, the quickest that I've seen options roll out. I remember some of those names, I forgot about it. I'm like, I'm going to pound that name into the dirt. I got busy doing other things. Why am I rambling about this? Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's money to CBOE, right? Wow, 600,000 by 11 minutes ago. Woo! Love it. All right, looks like people got some bear call spreads working for SpaceX. And it got a bounce here, man. Keep an eye on this. The high today was 225, so we're in it to win it, man. Welcome to drinking money options trading. I didn't even look at SPX today. What are we doing? Man, this was a gift. Look at that. Right Wednesday night, man. I said, when the market opens tomorrow, buy your bullish on America trades. Everybody good? Excuse me, with their bullish on America trades. Any questions? I've been watching the strikes out into the future, and they are crushing it. Let's do my quick count. Where's my folder? Prop reports, SPX. Oh, I used that. 34. I should know this by now. 45, 15, 390. 35, 15. I was going to say I'll make that my new pin for something, and then you guys will like tell some people about it, and then I'll be broke. Let's go look at the bullish on America trades. When's a great time to do a bullish on America trade? When you just asked it. It's never not a good time, especially when the market's pulling back. All those were gifts. Every one of these was a gift. Let's go see if people are joining us, the smart money. 34 is the same. 500 more in here. 100 more in here. And 2,100 more in here. And hell, I forgot about these strikes. These weren't even that populated a while. I probably should have taken a screenshot of those. Let me do that and save that as a new one so I don't forget about it. We'll go all the way up to, let's go up to, 12,000. Sorry, 12,000. There's really not that much before that. So 12,000 is right there. It's my new, as of today's date, June 16. All right. Okay. So I said this, you could have with CBOE sold a short call against it for the week, but I am specifically, yes, sitting on my hands with against my short calls, man. It just doesn't make any sense with because remember, folks, this is a very tactical market. I'm looking out to tomorrow. The market isn't. Everybody's doing SpaceX stuff right now, but tomorrow at 2 o'clock, 2:30. 2:30 is the press conference. It's Kevin Warsh's first press conference. Obviously, the Fed funds rate is staying the same. They should be hiking. So look at that, man. There's Donald Trump the first. Oh God, look at what Jerome Powell did under Joe Biden. Oh, and then they suck. They absolutely suck. There you go. SpaceX calls 2 times as expensive as puts. Holy crap. Somebody bought 230,000 of the 220 calls. Uh-oh, we better keep an eye on those, man. Uh-oh. That's why it's drinking money. We might get pulled up even higher. Let's go. Let's refresh this. That's well, guess what? That's drinking money for somebody. That ain't mine. Uh, right there. Look at the skew, folks. Look over here. The put volume. You see all this put volume out to Thursday? That's what that headline is, twice as much call volume. If you want a little bit of a hedge on the bear call spread that I just did, go buy a drinking money call. But they ain't cheap, man. You could sell this bear call spread like I did and, buy a drinking at the money call. But now we're like really trading. This is just, you're the tick. You got to do what you got to do. I just don't see, even with that, tomorrow in AR, we'll look at the max pain for SpaceX expiration after it updates. But it has exceeded all the previous, go read the report. It's exceeded all the previous IPO euphoria pops. I think it comes back down to earth here. Don't forget, folks, we got 3 minutes left. Let's go a little Bobby Axelrod. Everybody, if you haven't watched Billions, you failed terribly as a Top Gun Options member. Go watch Billions. If I knew that I don't hate anybody. I was going to say hate. I don't hate anybody. God loves the person you hate on this planet the most, the same as he loves you. Let's just say I'm Bobby Axelrod, though. If I knew that Mike, what's his name? Not Pence. Whatever the bald dude's name in Billions was. Wait a minute. He's got 220,000 SpaceX 220 calls expiring. I want to go spend every penny that I have to short SpaceX to pound. I want to destroy him. This happens. Do you not know this happens? Maybe I worked at a place that engaged in some of these type of tactics against some well-known people. There you go, Brent. I love it. Prince. Thank you, Paul. I was going to say Mike Pence. I'm like, why do I have Mike Pence on the brain? Prince. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, trading is a form of combat. I guarantee you that somebody who did that has somebody who doesn't like them, and there's a battle right now. Did you hear Wiz over at Wiz Capital just did X, Y, and Z? I can't stand that dude. Let's destroy him. It happens. I'll leave it at that. Maybe if I write my full memoirs about my time in Chicago one day, I'll name names. But trading's a form of combat, ladies and gentlemen. So Good stuff. Um, we're in SpaceX. I will be in SpaceX eventually. Let's close on this, man. And this is not an insignificant threat. The Democrats win. Elon Musk is enemy number one. He's enemy number one. Whatever the Brit dude. They're every country leader wants Elon Musk like gone. I don't want to use the other word. The Democrats will rip Elon Musk to shreds and they will go after SpaceX. I guarantee you, folks. God forbid there's a don't vomit, Wiz. If there is a President Harris or a President Newsom, there will be no SpaceX contracts. I guarantee you. President Harris, he launches our top secret satellites. Not anymore. These people would bite off their nose to spite their face. Do you not understand this? That is the biggest threat to SpaceX, is that it's a cult of personality. In a good way, it's a good thing because Elon Musk is awesome and does great things. In other ways, it's a bad thing because Elon Musk will be destroyed by Democrats. I hate that. Hand to God, that's the biggest. Did that not make it in the report? If it did, I'm going to update it because that's the report. I will update that report with my threats. I said I'm not gonna I'm gonna try not to vomit. If you're not in tactical trade alerts, you're a fool. Go join right now and read this report. I'm gonna update it sitting right here with all the political stuff because I don't think I copied that in there. I had a Word document of all the stuff I wanted and I dropped it. So all right, guys. Anything? Hold on. Let me look at my mastermind group. And it's full of SpaceX stuff. Man, these people who short stocks, it's insane. Yeah. Let me help some of these people out. All right, guys, I'll get the replay posted in a couple minutes. Go join Tactical Trade Alerts. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Namaste, Wiz. Out. Don't forget B-52 crew and their families, man. Please. I mean, go hug a loved one a little bit. A lot of people having a very bad day today out at Edwards Air Force Base. So, all right, guys, God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow for AR. Cheers.